Cherries, it's Jessica here, and today I'm really excited about this layout because I'm combining a lot of favorite things, and this includes mixed media. I'm adding some dimensional keepsakes on this page, and I also have an interactive element. So let's get started. I have a black Foundations Vicky Bouton paper as my base, and I really like this paper because I can really load up on all of the mixed media. So I'm starting with the spritzes from Tim Holtz, and I have really been loving these. I've been using them a lot. So I sprayed them all to cover the background, let it dry, and then any areas where it was like I could still see through, I just gave it a second coat. And I don't know if you saw my pictures very well yet or not, but we were doing a mud run, so that's what I'm documenting. And so it's this fun event where women pretty much roll around in mud. So I had this idea to use this paint splatter stencil to create mud splatters. So I used some stencil butter and went over the stencil, let it dry, and then fussy cut all of the splatters out. So you can see I also got this metal that I'm going to be adding to the page. I'm not somebody who likes to just keep things like this necessarily, like the metal, but if I can add it to a scrapbook page, that's wonderful because then it can be seen, it makes sense with the page, it's a cool embellishment, and I don't have it just in a drawer somewhere. So next I had a bunch of photos from this event and I wanted all of the photos on this page. So to do that, I'm making this little waterfall element that will be able to open up and you can see all of the photos. So I'm actually fitting 6 photos in this. I started by measuring out how thick it should be and then how wide the photo is, and then I'm just scoring at, well, mine was at 3 inches, so then I could just go 3 inches on all of the photos so they'd all be the same size. I had enough photos where I had to make 2 pages that I did this to and then glued them together. And even though this fits a lot of photos, it really isn't that thick, like not that thick on my page. It's probably less than a 1/4 inch even, I would say, once it's all folded up. So, and then look how cool it looks with all of the photos in there. Next, I need to make a little hinge to attach it to the page. So I just measured how thick it should be and then gave it some space where I could glue it on the photos and on the back of the page as well. So you can see it's just like a little table. And then I'll glue it to this first photo and then I'll plan out where I want it and glue it on the back as well. I'm adhering my photos down with some cherry tape. Usually I like using our cherry foam tape, but because I wanted them to be flatter so I could layer over with this bulkier photo that I had, I just kept it flat with foam tape. Another element that we got from the event were these wristbands, and I thought I would use mine as a embellishment again. So I will be doing that as well. And my go-to for sticking elements like this on pretty much anything, I've done this around the house too, but if I really want it to stick, I put some cherry foam tape on it and it'll stick. I have no worry that this will stay there and stay in place forever. The metal was already a little bit of a bulky item, so I debated on not using the foam tape, but I thought it was worth it just so I knew that it would stay there and stay in place, because it was kind of a heavy metal. And for the ribbon, I used some cherry tape, just the regular flat tape, and that'll stick there just fine. So now I'm adhering my photo strip back onto the page. And so when it's closed, it just looks like it's another photo on here. And my hack for cutting apart this ribbon was using this ribbon cutter. It's really a lifesaver because I know if I cut this with scissors, it would get all frayed and look really messy, where even though it's a mud and mixed media layout, I still want some elements to look clean. And what this tool does is it pretty much melts it so it has a nice seam. And here I'm adding all of the mud splatters, and I think they turned out so cool. I like all of the little drips that I added, and I thought this was such a fun way to document it because, believe it or not, there's not a lot of mud embellishments, and that's why I'm such a fan of mixed media, because you can really make it your own. You can make anything. And here I wanted to show that how I put it in a page protector, because I've gotten before like, oh, well, nobody's gonna open it up and take the layout out so you can see all the photos. But what I like to do is just cut along the edge, and then I can push all this element out, and then you can still access all of the photos well without taking the layout out of the page protector. So I sliced it through, had to make it a little bit bigger, and then once I put the layout fully in, there it is. It's in the page protector, but you can still see all of the photos. Thought this was so fun, and I hope this gives you some inspiration, and we'll see you back next time. Thanks for watching.